Level 1. The Cosmic Erasure. You wake up in a twin-sized bed with the lingering taste of ash and sulfur coating the back of your throat. The ceiling plaster above you is peeling in familiar, depressing shapes, and the heavy, sweet smell of wheat cakes drifts up from the kitchen below. You are a 20-something man with the proportionate strength and agility of an arachnid, and you have absolutely no idea that a literal demon from hell just rewrote your entire existence. Welcome to your brand new day, hero. The wedding ring you never even knew you wore is permanently gone, casually pawned to the cosmos in exchange for extending your elderly aunt's life by a few more miserable years. You slide out from under the faded comic book bedsheets, your joints popping like cheap bubble wrap in the morning chill. Today, you are completely single, you are aggressively unemployed, and the entire city of New York officially considers you an unregistered, mask-wearing menace. You do not remember making a deal with Mephisto, but your body remembers the trauma of 1,000 erased timelines. You stare into the cracked bathroom mirror, looking at a face that feels like it belongs to a stranger. The Superhero Registration Act that recently tore your community apart is suddenly a murky memory, overwritten by a convoluted spell you cannot even begin to comprehend. All you know for sure is that you are alone, and the world feels fundamentally, invisibly wrong. Level 2. The Poverty Trap. You are flat broke, culturally irrelevant, and living in your cramped childhood bedroom as a full-grown adult. Maintaining your secret identity is practically impossible when your webbing fluid requires highly specific chemical components. You can only afford these compounds by quietly stealing from underfunded college laboratories while the grad students are on their lunch breaks. The Daily Bugle, the legendary institution, and the only place that would reliably pay cash for pictures of your own vigilantism, has collapsed. It has been bought out by a ruthless, bottom-feeding billionaire named Dexter Bennett. He immediately gutted the respected paper and turned it into a trashy, sensationalist tabloid called The DB. And incredibly, he pays even less than Jonah Jameson did. You are literally bleeding in the streets for a publication that gleefully prints photos of your bruised, spandex-clad ribs right next to fabricated celebrity diet tips. To make rent this month, you have to swing dangerously low across the skyline, snapping frantic selfies with a cheap digital camera while actively dodging sniper fire from hired mercenaries. There is no glory left in the superhero business, just the cold, brutal calculus of risking severe spinal trauma for a $20 freelance check. Every time you patch up a torn costume with dental floss and duct tape, you wonder if being a protector of the innocent was just a massive, self-destructive delusion. Level 3. The New Rogues. The filthy, rain-slicked streets of New York do not care about your existential dread or your empty bank account. A bizarre, highly lethal new breed of psychopaths has aggressively filled the criminal vacuum you left behind during your brief hiatus. First, there is a terrifying man dressed in a crisp, reverse-color suit calling himself Mr. Negative. With a single touch, he can entirely corrupt the souls of innocent bystanders, turning them into rabid, loyal foot soldiers for his underground empire. Then, there is a horribly mutated vagrant named Freak, who keeps crawling out of the toxic sewers. He acts as a walking biological nightmare, instantly adapting to and surviving every single form of physical trauma you inflict upon him. You are forced to fight these apocalyptic threats, using web shooters that constantly jam, simply because you had to buy the generic, off-brand adhesive solvent at the hardware store. You are getting beaten completely senseless in damp, garbage-filled alleys by colorful villains who do not even have an established Wikipedia page yet. The police despise you, the mayor actively campaigns for your arrest, and a new vigilante named Jackpot is stealing what little public goodwill you have left. Every punch you throw feels heavier than the last, like you are fighting through thick temporal molasses just to survive until the weekend. It is a relentless, punishing gauntlet, and your mutant healing factor is barely keeping up with the structural damage to your skull. Level 4. The echoes of a dead timeline. The absolute strangest, most deeply unsettling part of your newly forged reality is the ghosts that casually walk around in broad daylight. Your best friend, Harry Osborn, a troubled man you literally watched die in your arms years ago, is suddenly ordering flat whites at the local coffee bean. He is fully alive. He is remarkably healthy, and the very fabric of the universe insists it has always been this way. But deep down, beneath the forced smiles and the superhero quips, there is a massive, gaping hole in your chest that you cannot intellectually explain. You go to loud rooftop parties and suddenly lock eyes with a stunning, fiery-haired woman named Mary Jane Watson. The moment your eyes meet, your heart physically attacks your ribcage, sending a wave of inexplicable, crushing grief straight into your nervous system. You just assume it is chronic heartburn from the daily stress of poverty and your aunt's terrible cooking. The alternative is far too terrifying. Admitting that a massive, vital piece of your soul was surgically removed while you slept. You wake up every single morning tasting that phantom sulfur, completely and utterly unaware of the tragic truth. The devil took your beautiful wife to save an old woman, but he generously, sadistically, left you the phantom pain. Which level of this brand new day broke you the most? Tell me in the comments.